Hey CrossFit Olympics athletes, welcome to the Be Relentless vlog. Let's talk about tomorrow's workout. Before the workout, you're gonna have a 5x5 of back squat. 70% for those of you that have a relevant 1 rep max, go ahead and hit that percentage. For those of you that do not have a relevant 1 rep max, hopefully you did last week's weight and 5x5 back squat, just go ahead and pick something that's a little heavier than that. Remember, we're focusing on speed out of the hole, aka as soon as you hit the bottom of your squat, you are standing up as fast as you can. Think shoulders back, that should help you with the vertical torso. Guys, have fun with that. The gun's gonna go directly into a 12-minute AMRAP. Of course, you'll have time to warm up for the 12-minute AMRAP of 4 muscle ups, 4 power cleans at 155, 105, and then it's gonna be 8 shoulder overheads. Guys, for the weight, if you cannot do the RX weight, you should scale such that the weight that you use, you can do 4 unbroken power cleans, but the shoulder to overhead will not be able to be unbroken, right? You're gonna have to break at 4 or 6, something, right? Pick something that challenges you and stretches you for the shoulder overhead. If you can't do muscle ups, then I'm looking for strict pull-ups tomorrow, guys, right? If you're like, hey, you know what? I've got strict pull-ups, pretty easy. Go ahead, I challenge you to go ahead and do strict chest to bar pull-ups, right? If you're like, coach, I have neither of those 3 movements that you just said, don't worry about it. I want you guys to think about doing a jumping pull-up and then having a 3-second negative down, right? So that means you're going to jump up, then you're going to go ahead and think 3, 2, 1, right? Cool, yeah. That's it. Let yourself down, jump back up, hold for just a moment, and then 3, 2, 1. Remember, with the eccentric of that pull-up, guys, the biggest fault is that we jump up and we're really good about holding that eccentric all the way to where the bar's just past our head, and then all of a sudden we go quickly and bottom out through that. Really kind of, if we reverse and do the concentric pull at the very beginning of the pull-up. So go ahead and make sure, if anything, you let yourself go down quickly from here to here, but then really try to put on the brakes and slow up the motion from here to here as fast as you can. Nice, guys. So that's gonna be the workout. The accessory work is just GHD holds for 2 minutes, collect it. Remember, we're not looking for a curled position, kind of like a hollow body, right? Where we have this closure of the anterior chain. We're looking to really open up and think of the best posture that we can. We're standing directly up, and then we're just putting ourselves sideways into the machine. Let's go ahead, let's talk about behind the scenes for the gym. As you know, well, some of you might not know, we're referring to Northwest Sports Rehab right now. We're referring specifically to Anthony and Dominic there. We see them as more of on the cutting edge of what soft tissue work, chiropractic, PT is doing. Now with the shift of the average person actually doing weight training and putting themselves under load, the traditional practices and thoughts of chiros and PTs a little outdated, and they're on the cutting edge of learning how to go ahead and help people out with movement pattern, among other things. Now, if you go there, right, make sure if you're comfortable, put me on your HIPAA release form, because Anthony, right, goes ahead and gives me a synopsis for anybody that's not put me on their HIPAA form, and goes ahead and shoots me out a weekly assessment of how the clients are doing, what their homework is, and what their limitations are at the gym. So that way we have a feedback loop, and that we're actually working hand in hand to try to make you healthier and change your movement patterns so you're a more durable human going forward. Nice. I think that's the only thing that I'm going to talk about behind the scenes. Remember, go ahead, put me on your HIPAA film if you're comfortable with that. I think it's the best thing for you. Other than that, guys, we have a mobility class that is free to you every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. I think a lot of you don't realize this. Guys, this is big. This is literally like if you're gonna go to an hour at your local PT. They're gonna be working with you with so many different items. There's so much value that you get to that. If you were to pay out of pocket for this session just at your PT office, you'd be talking 30 to like 60 bucks an hour. You get that free for just being a CrossFit Deliverance member. So come, the first week of every month is squatting, then we go ahead and we go through hinging, pulling, pressing. Go ahead, come one night, and then go ahead and know, depending on what you know is your specific issue, come to specific weeks of the month. I'll go ahead and talk about what the specific weeks will be in the next blog. If anything, come right next week. We just had our first one, which was squatting last night. Other than that, guys, remember, for Frosty Fridays this Friday, it also ends up being Cinco de Mayo, so that'll be the theme. And maybe a Frosty Friday will be your pregame before whatever crazy shenanigans that you individuals are going to be doing for the rest of the night. Hopefully we'll see you there. And guys, remember, be relentless in everything that you do.